There's a lot of truth in books. There's a lot of truth in reading.
Yes.
And nowadays we're in an era now where
And
people don't read as much. People read the first caption or read the first, first two or three sentences that they do, and they already depict and make their assumption like this is just what it is. But you really got to do the research and read and dig into that. I was able to, I didn't start reading until after college, and then I started picking up more reading during the pandemic. I had to do reading on, bettering myself with my family, bettering myself as a friend, bettering myself in my relationships that I've developed, everything in general. So reading doesn't make me better than the next man. I just saw the same opportunity that the person has in front of me. So when it comes to stuff like that, the educational system is, in a sense, it has its pros and its cons, but it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah,
how many kids can we pass?
Yeah,
but not how many kids are we educating?
Most definitely. But again, I would tell people, man, like you have to do your own
Research.
Your own research. You got to really invest on your own growth. Like nobody is there to like, hey, we want you to grow. No, you have to care for your growth. I mean, if you want to know something, it's in the book somewhere. Mm-hmm. You just gotta able to dig in. Mm-hmm. I mean, even me, like for me to be comfortable with certain things in this world, like I had to get uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I had to get uncomfortable. You have to. I mean, because it means I see the world, man. I'm a student. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I able to learn from different people. You know what I'm saying? And I talk to strangers a lot, and that's the reason why I pick up cigars. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason I pick up cigars. I mean, I don't have a watches today, but cigars is a good conversation starter. Mm-hmm. Something like as a nice watch. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So all those things I had to learn them. And I mean, so I would tell, man, anybody, man, just you have to invest in your own growth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and the world don't owe you anything.
The world really doesn't owe you nothing. I mean, even in America, America is. Everybody has their own, definition of if America is a great company. I mean, not a great company, a great country or not. But you got to realize it. Why are so many people from other countries coming here? America's the land of opportunity, first and foremost. But then there's also perks.
Yes.
There's also other perks. Yep. Opportunities that you can have in the islands, whether you're in Haiti, Bahamas, Jamaica, Martinique, St. Lucia, There's people that wake up with no purpose, no opportunity, and you see like a lot of the minorities that come here, and they take that little bit of opportunity and they turn that penny into a quarter, into $1, yep, to $100, and they expand. And just being able to see that that the opportunities here, like what you have to take advantage of the opportunities that you have here.
Yeah, most definitely.
The worst thing somebody can do is not apply their mind. Being able to just go through the motions and just living life with no purpose. Like I said, existing, you got to have a direction.
Just like you say, man, not able to their mind, bro. Like, cause this life, man, is I would tell people, man, it's 90% mental.
Yeah,
it's 90% mental. Mm-hmm. Cause me and in your field, just like you mentioned, like. What you do for work?
Yeah, it's all mental.
It's all mental, right?
Yeah.
Like me, what I used to do for work, like working on aircraft. It's 90% mental and 10% skill. And that skill, like some days, it's downtime. But on that downtime, what do? Do you read books? Do you read the manual? Do you trying to get familiar with the old aircraft, the new aircraft? Uh-huh. You want to talk to the old guys? You want to talk to your leads, the supervisors? How you want to get the information that you need to better your skill?
I feel like the information's always been here. I feel like the fall off is, we used to, going back to storytelling, we used to hear true stories from our elders.
Yes.
Our elders were what educated us. Grandpa, grandma, great aunt, great cousin. They educated us, I was able to learn about Haiti and Haiti's history through my godmom, Mm-hmm. And she was able to just tell me, really what the truth is. Yep. I was getting a watered down version from, the education system here, and I'm getting the real authentic version from somebody that's actually from the island, And the fall off is we don't have them. They're not here no more, And the generation behind them, we're not picking the baton up and passing the education. I mean, passing the history down. It's like, in a sense, it's like, you know, if you have information that bettered you, why not pass it to the next person? And that's what builds that gap, you know. If you know, like right now, like you know stuff about, you know, your field and I know stuff about my field. What do we look like, you know, just sharing that information between me and you when there's people behind us that are questioning it? They're going on YouTube to figure out what that is, and I'm a living YouTube in front of you. I can teach you that.
That's the whole purpose. That's the whole idea. That's the whole core, like why I start podcasts, right? Because I'm like, man, I wish when I came here, I had somebody to look up to, somebody to walk me through this life. That's because I didn't have that. So I'm like, what can I do? What can I do to make a difference with my time?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when all said and done, man, like somebody, like you could go back to certain things that I'm about to say, that you could learn, like, hey man, if this guy could do it, I could do it too. I want somebody to say that.
Well, it's leadership.
You know
We need more leaders in life. You know, we after the you know the after the ideal prestige leaders such as, you know, Fred Hampton and Huey Newton, the Black Panther Party, you know, all of those guys that really fought for good causes and etc. And I know I'm missing out on them. And I know I'm pretty much missing out on a lot of them. But we had a lot of leaders that were there that was installing. You got to realize Black Panther parties was educating our great grandparents, our great aunts. Like, we were getting educated by that. But after the fall off of some of those, no one really picked up the baton. I'm not going to say no one really has. We don't have enough.
No, we don't have enough.
We don't have enough. And then the leaders that are talking nowadays, if they're in the news and you see
they're
them,
too PC for me.
If they're in the news and you know, nowadays people just give them the cold shoulder and they're like, they're telling, you know, stories.
Yeah.
But there's truth behind the stories, you know. And I feel like that gap. And I also challenge people. I was like, yo, we need more women leaders and we need more men leaders, especially men. Men, black men especially. Like, we are one of the biggest threats in America. And I always look at this like this. And I shout out to my college professor, Professor Bragg. She broke down America to me in a T on the black family. Black families, how they structure. The black father, you're either killed or in prison. And when I mean killed, not physically. You can be mentally killed, because if you don't have a mind, you're already dead.
Yeah, they beat you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the black woman, what do? They overwork you.
Yeah, that's
every black woman that you know, single mom, whether or not, they're working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs.
That's the easy way to break a man is through your mind.
And then last and not least, the kids. The kids are all miseducated. They're teaching about Christopher Columbus, but when you can teach about, you know, Haitian Revolutionary War, you can teach about etc. You can teach about Black Wall Street, etc. You know, and there's other stuff that you can also teach them about, you know, but the school system doesn't do that.
Yeah, man, that was the biggest lie ever told, man. Like, Christopher Columbus discovered Haiti. No, like no, like these dudes was somewhere stealing people land and go after spices and then he had a captain called Alonso Prenso. I'm saying, because he arrived to Haiti first, but they never mentioned that guy in history. But they mentioned Christopher Columbus because he was the biggest. He was a scammer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you call him. He was a scammer.
Yeah.
And bro, and then we're gonna go back to that. And I feel like that was my first detention too in high school. And I was in world history, and the teacher, and I asked him a question. I'm like, why you guys don't talk about Jean-Jacques Dessalines? Like, why you guys don't talk about Jean-Jacques Dessalines? Like, that was...
Either they don't know or they know enough not to tell you.
That's true because like, now as I get older, bro, I'm like, yo, like, Dessalines write letters to the U.S. president to say, yo, hey, I want to buy your slaves. I want them to be free in Haiti. I want to buy 3 million slaves from you. He wrote letters to the president. Yo, I want to buy the slaves. But I'm like, why you guys don't put that in history? Why you guys don't teach that in world history?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that should be, you know, everybody talks about what should really be in the education system. You know, like credit, you know, like debt, you know, like finance, you know, like investments. There's a lot of things, they've always pushed the agenda of going to college. And there's nothing wrong with going to college, but have that direction and have that purpose on what do you feel like you're going to accomplish when you go there.
There you go.
And of course, you can always try again, but there's always other routes. And the other routes are always watered down to a certain extent, I'm more into financial freedom. And I feel like in a sense, they have no issue accepting you to a university as long as you take loans out, but you're graduating with, a high volume or high significant amount of loans. And it's just hovering over you. I always look at loans as like a dark cloud.
Oh.
You're free to a certain extent, but you still owe somebody money.
Yep.
And it's like financial freedom. It's like in life, you want financial freedom and ownership. I always strive that for everybody in life, And, the old saying, back in the days, that, when every president came here, most of the presidents all came here from Europe, the original ones, and they came here, and they had that old saying, give me 40 acres and a mule. Half these 40 acres are malls, super plazas,
yes,
big time houses, big time this, ownership is everything. And I always tell people, if you have that opportunity and you're educating yourself enough to the point, own something in life, own land.
Yes.
Own land. They can never take that away from you. And generational wealth, you can pass that down to anybody, spouse, trust funds, all of that. Being able to have something that's yours and they can't take it away from you, that's power.
Yeah, I would tell people though, like start small. Make sure that job you're going to, that they have like some type of 401k plan.
Yeah.
So that's your first step to ownership. Like once that job gives you that 5%, and then you add another 5%, now you own 10% off that company. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, if you manage pretty good, if you manage with a lot of information, with a lot of knowledge, you're gonna be all right. But a lot of us, in the Haitian culture, that 401k, we killed that before we retired, before we do anything major with it.
Mm-hmm. It's getting to the point now where Haitians now, the ones that are educated enough to the point, they don't want to retire in America. You sit there and you have that retirement stage and you're still living below your means.
Yep.
You still have to work past 60, whatever the age is, 62, 65, around that range.
They build the system for that.
And the system is just literally designed for you to work until you can't work no more. Yeah. No one wants to work the rest of their life. And that's why I strongly advise people to have some kind of ownership, Everybody that has their business, like, what is your goal outside of that?
Yeah, because I feel like in America, man, once you start working, man, it's gonna be hard for you to quit. It's gonna be hard for you to quit and say that let me go after something else. Like your family gonna call you crazy, because why would you give up a good job, a good paying job, and go after your dream? What is a dream? It's like, I feel like that's why a lot of black families don't understand. Like, go after your dream, go after your passion. The things that wake you up in the morning.
Because some of them look at it as like, why are you going to go after a dream and not survive? You're going to chase a good paying job just to drown in a dream.
Yeah, but
do you want to swim or do you want to drown?
Yeah, man. But me, I want to go through a year of pain and then live the rest of my life happy. Then spend 10 years, spend my whole life paying and tell people that I'm good because I have a little bit of money.
But money doesn't.
I'm barely getting by.
Money doesn't necessarily, say that you're happy. There's no happiness behind money.
I want to take the risk, man, because
it's a tool. Money is definitely a tool.
Yeah, because to experience, I truly believe that to experience, if you put your all, you gonna come out on top. But you just got really want it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to start a business, start the business. But have a plan. You know what I'm saying? And don't quit. I mean, use your 9 to 5 to use your 9 to 5 to invest in your plan, in your passion, in your ideas. I would say don't do the dumb shit I did, because I spent a lot of money when I was working a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Go to clubs, spend money, do dumb shit. But I was young. But if I could go back, I would use my 9 to 5 to invest in my ideas, in my goal, in my retirement. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of us don't do that. A lot of young kids don't know that. And the reason is we go back to education again. We don't teach that, and our parents need to do a better job. I mean, because
But then again, you want your parents to do a better job, but can we really blame our parents?
nah, I mean, we can't really blame them.
I mean, I'm coming from two Haitian immigrants that came
yeah.
to this country and all they knew was work. You know, my mother had the education of an elementary school, you know, compared here, elementary level, and
Yep.
she knew work.
Yep.
You know, and seeing me graduate college and high school, making her happy was a good thing. And then what I got in return is seeing my mother and my father start to adapt and understand lingos, new
See?
languages. You ever come across a time where your parents start to learn a new lingo, a new word, they're happy about it.
Oh my God.
They, you know, they
What's your parents' lingo?
you know, take it easy. You know, they're gonna use take it easy in the content.
Yeah. Yep.
They're so happy learning
Yep.
the word. They know what it means. Like a lot of minorities, like just because they don't have the same education as you do, they're not dumb. They're just as educated, but
Yep.
they didn't just get as far as you did.
Yep.
They know they can adapt. You know, and I saw that, and that actually put joy in my heart. Seeing, you know, my parents still strive for education at their age, still willing to learn, still willing to adapt. You know, nowadays, the struggle of trying to teach your parents how to text. You know,
See, like some parents able to have that willingness to adapt. Some don't, because
life is gonna make you adapt.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, some of our parents so old and stuck in their way. They don't know how to adapt.
They have to,
You know what I mean?
because you got to look at it like this. Back in the days, back in the early 90s, 80s, 70s, what were cars? Cars, you crank that thing up. Now, what do? Push button start.
Yep.
They have to adjust. Life is adjusting. The world is evolving, and you're either behind or you up front.
Because I feel like when you come from Haiti and then you come to the States, I feel like you need to have like a special class, to give you like the rundown of how to navigate to this life. Because if you don't, just like you said, like you just gonna go to work and then teach your kids go to work, and then it's like a rat race.
Yeah.
And nobody was able to break that cycle.
I mean, yeah, black people in America were looked at consumers before citizens. Literally, we are here giving our money to other people's businesses, but don't have enough businesses of our own. And I say this like this, I'm glad that we fought for equality. I'm so happy for that, but we could have done more. We could have done more. Back in the days, we had our own black-owned taxi cabs, black-owned restaurants, black-owned banks, black-owned dentist field offices and everything. We had that. And, comparison steals a lot of bit of the joy, I was listening to my morning podcast about a few months during the pandemic, and I was listening to this gentleman was talking about, back in the days, you would have the Iceman. Before, we had ice machine and ice makers. There was literally a guy that would come and leave ice in front of your door.
Wow.
In front of your door. This is way back in the days. And, he was saying that he watched a gentleman, right? Like he sat there at a gas station and watched a gentleman. There's two gas stations right next to each other. One over here, one across the street. Almost like the CVS Walgreens that we see. There's always one next to each other. And he said there was a black-owned to the left and a white-owned business to the right. And he just came there to get some ice. He went to the black-owned. He saw it. He saw the ice, measured it, put it down. He was like, I don't want it. Then he walked across the street, went to the white store. Saw the same, did the same thing, picked up the block of ice, looked at it, saw it, examined it, took it, bought it, and purchased it. And then he said, he stopped the gentleman and he asked him, hey, my man, I just so happened to watch you. You picked up the ice from the black-owned business, right? What was wrong with it? He's like, I don't like their ice. He says, why? It's too lumpy. It's not smooth. The white ice is smoother. And I sat there and I did the same result. I'm like, ice melts. Ice is water. But comparisons of joy, because it was presented a little bit better at that at that
Good place,
business compared to the black-owned business,
Yep.
that's where we start to look at that. We always trying to compare ourselves to other people, and we need to take ownership and appreciate what we have of our own. Imagine if that black-owned business still was running right now.
Yes.
We have a little bit, but we don't have enough.
But I mean, talking about how we used to like. I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you could tell like the demise of that city, of that town.
It's still eerie.
You know what I'm saying? It's like man, like no progress after they bring the whole town down. Like it's no progress. Like I moved there 2010, and that probably like when that thing happened, like 200 years ago, like 100 years ago.
That was a while back.
Like you know what I'm saying?
That was a while back.
You know what I mean? It's like you could still like oh wow, like it's still crack like me as a Haitian, like I'm like man, it's still crackhead like in America. Like there's a bunch of them. There's a lot of poor people living there. It's like and they destroyed that city for what? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's a lot of things that happen to destroy the black culture, the black history is
unity.
It's intentional. I mean,
Unity.
it's very intentional.
They do it intentional for unity. Like if you ever look at comparisons of other cultures, and we make this funny jokes, how Hispanics like to jump in one minivan. There'll be 32 Hispanics in one minivan, but they're all going to the same place. They're all going to work.
Yep.
There is literally 32 different paychecks in one minivan. Why? Because they came together as one unit and carpool.
Yep. Bro,
to sit there and do that one job.
And people don't understand that the idea of it, come together, man, togetherness. You know what I'm saying? And
but everybody has that crab in the barrel mentality, and that's the thing. Like if you have, I always look at it, and I'm a very big advocate for black women owning their businesses, and shout out to the black women doing boss moves and owning whatever it is, hair salons, nails, lashes, whatever you do. But it's a crab in the barrel mentality. If we'll use us for example. You have your barbershop across the street, right?
All right.
I have my barbershop. I got to make sure I outdo you.
Yeah.
Now you're my competitor.
Yeah, we do it. We
I'm taking my own person that's my same complexion down. When in reality, we can come together. We can. This sounds cliche. I mean, it's not really cliche. It sounds corny to an extent, but that's what we need. We need unity. We are owed so much.
Same thing you say, and I do the same thing in Haiti. I'm like, yo, like in Haiti, there would never be a McDonald's and a Burger King right next to each other. It would never exist.
Why is that?
Because that owner of that McDonald's would one day woke up, the Burger King would burn down, or the McDonald's would burn down. Mm-hmm. So because they would like not learn how to coexist. Even though we have a different product. We sell the same thing, but it's different. We don't know how to coexist with each other, bro. And then it's scary. And
it's scary. Yeah, I agree with you. It's scary because we know it, we see it, and some of us and a lot of us don't want to do anything about it.
I mean, and especially now, like we taking a few steps forward in progress, but we need to do more. I mean, we need to do more teaching because I feel like, and I feel like it go back to self-hit too. Like it's like, bro, like you hit yourself so much that you hit your own kind.
I mean, is it self-hate or is it trauma?
I think it's a bit of both.
Miseducation.
Yeah, it's
Miseducated.
You know what I'm saying? Because like the way we treat each other, man. It's like it's like in high school. It's like you see a homeboy with a nice Air Force One. It's like instead of saying, "Yo, man, that's a nice shoes," you talking mad shit about it. It's like, man, that shit trash.
Yeah, I had to myself.
That shit trash.
Well,
bro, like
just to touch up on what you're saying,
yeah, bro, you got football on, man. I got Air Force One, bro. Like,
you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to make yourself grow. Like, there's thousands of people with the same Air Forces Ones with you. Compliment, you can give each other compliments, man.
Yeah,
we
bro,
don't
like
compliment each other enough.
You're not taking anything away from you when you just say you see your brother doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? And I mean I didn't grow up. I I don't think I have any hate in me because man, like my upbringing was very in church. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I still have that love, like love your neighbor, like just like you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I use that in my life now. It's like, bro, like the same thing I want for me, I want the same thing for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we need to do better, man. We need more leaders.
We need men to
You know
lead,
what I'm saying?
man. We need men to lead.
The funny
man.
thing is, I always ask, man, where's Jesse Jackson? Where's Al Sharpton? We need more leaders.
We need more of those guys.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we got Charlamagne the God doing this for the black culture now. I mean, we gotta do better. We gotta do better.
Yeah, I mean, if you could, I'm gonna ask you this: if you could tell, if you could give good advice to a young African American man in this era, what would you give him? What would be some words of advice for you to give him?
Learn a skill.
Okay.
Learn a skill and then move out like fast. Move away from your hometown.
Okay.
Fast. Fast as you can move.
Okay.
Cause that like when you like you gonna learn how to love, like you're gonna learn how to love yourself, how to deal with yourself. I mean, it's gonna build character.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the best thing I would say, man, learn a skill, and then just move away from your hometown.
I'll say this, and to touch up on you, and then I know tomorrow's Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers.
Yeah.
Shout out to any man that has a seed on this world and is actually trying to better his seed and better his life.
Yep.
Protect, provide, direct, guide his family to the best of his ability, man. Shout out to that. But for the young African American brothers out there that's, you know, really trying to figure out and to adapt, man, just be able to take constructive criticism. That's my thing.
Yep.
You're gonna hear a lot of things that you're not ready to hear.
Yep.
But what are you gonna do with those words? They either motivate you or they demotivate you.
True.
And be able to take those and use that as motivation. Use that as fuel, like you would do in sports. If you suck in sports or you trash in sport and you're in a game and someone's in your face clapping, doing all that rah-rah, what are you going to do? You're going to go on the bench and cry, say, this man on the other team said I suck, or you're going to show him you have something to prove.
There you go. Pete Peterson, Janvier, man. It's absolute pleasure again for having you on the podcast.
It was a pleasure, man. Definitely.
Again, man, thank you guys for listening to our episode, man. And thank you, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast. And then
Support.
support.